During an overnight camping trip last year, we all had a discussion around the campfire. Could we ride our motorcycles across the most inhospitable environment in Australia? The Simpson Desert and into the Flinders Ranges. It's hard, arid land, making a motorcycle journey pretty tough. We all agreed that our bikes would have to be made ultra reliable. They'd have to be right. We'd have to pack light, share all of our equipment, and get ourselves in great shape to give the journey every chance of success. There'll be very few places we could get food or water, and we'll need to make it through several hundred kilometres between fuel stops. We wouldn't be able to shower, and we'll live in the same clothes for days. It'll be hot during the day, but freezing cold at night, and sleeping on the ground isn't fun. We won't eat properly. We'll live like animals, really, like some sort of Mad Max post-apocalyptic wanderers of the wastelands. So why the hell do we all agree to do it? Well, for the adventure, for the challenge, to conquer the Simpson Desert, the largest sand dune desert in the world. What a feeling of achievement. Its beautiful red sand dunes, the salt plains and its vast emptiness. I'm told watching a sunset from the top of a sand dune is an incredible experience. The night skies are also some of the clearest, most star-filled you'll ever see. So we all said, why the hell not? It's time. Let's go. Ride's going well so far. Pulled up at Milparinka. Of course they got a hotel, established 1882. That's an oldie. We are in the, I always talk about being in the middle of nowhere. This really is in the middle of nowhere. We've ridden all morning and all afternoon. And this little town just rose out of the sand. There's actually people that live out here. I'm up for adventure, guys, but I don't think I could live here. This is way out there. And we're not even in the actual Simpson Desert yet. We're going for a beer and generate some income into the local community, which is what we're all about. So, time to have a beer. We're just doing some GPSing. Where are we, gents?
On Mount Shannon Road.
Mount Shannon Road.
We're bound to get lost.
Yeah, anything with Shannon in it, we're in trouble.
Hello, Mr. Goat. I think I've made a friend. She said, be careful, he bucks you. Oh, yes, might go retreat back to my coffee. Well, good morning. Spent the night last night at Tibooburra, making our way north. For those of you who think the desert or desolate regions are hot, I want to show you something. Woke up this morning, I don't know what time it is, probably 7ish. My motorcycle seat froze. There you go. That's just what you got to, one of the things you got to do when you're motorcycle camping out in the desert. What do you call us, Pete? Desert dwellers. But anyway, not entirely uncivilized out here at Tibooburra. Went across the road and got a coffee. You know, I was never really interested in history lessons back when I was a kid. I guess I found them quite boring. But where we are today at Tibooburra is a landmark celebrating the life and bravery of Burke and Wills in 1860 to 1861. Now, I can tell you something right now. It's pretty tough doing this trip on a motorcycle with all modern camping gear, let alone some primitive equipment on the back of camels. 100 years ago plus. Quick story about how they fared. They said to their surveyor team, camp here and we're going to do the trek across this desert. If we're not back in 4 months, break camp and get back to town. We've obviously perished. Well, the camp did exactly that. As promised, waited those 4 months and then packed up and went back into their town. Burke and Wills made it back to the camp only hours after the rest of the surveyor team had left. The surveyor team did, however, leave food and rations buried just under the base of an old tree and inscribed on the bark, dig here for supplies. Unfortunately, Burke and Wills didn't find those rations and it cost them their lives way out here in the wilderness. So, brave men, brave times. I wouldn't have wanted to do this on camels. No way in the world. Dog-proof fence, apparently. There you go. Everyone's interested when they see fully loaded bikes arriving here. Usually only four-wheel drives are around all these parts, so it's a real head turner when we all pull up, and conversations are easily started. Like, wouldn't have a cold beer, would you, mate? It just so happens that's my favourite icebreaker. Here we are at Cameron Corner, and it's not famous because Cameron lives here. It's famous because this is where all three states meet at one point. And there's nothing else out here, guys. They said they only have a tanker of fuel delivered once a month. So we're about to fill up our bikes and push on. So you know me by now, guys. I always get attracted to the people that are travelling with a difference. I've met George here at Cameron Corner, who's travelling in a 1968, wait for it, Piper Cherokee light aircraft. Super cool, mate. And you've left Sydney and you've arrived here with this group of guys.
Sydney via Dubbo, met in Dubbo.
That is fascinating.
Yeah,
so you're all in planes?
All in planes. So some are what we call Cessna 182s, reconditioned new aircraft. Some are actually home built.
Wow.
One's a home built, and mine's 1968 Piper Cherokee 6.
So a group of adventure bikers have stumbled across a group of flyboys.
That's it.
Super cool, mate. Nice to meet you here.
In all forms.
In the middle of nowhere, adventure in all forms too, right?
That's it. So,
see you, pal. So there you go, Rod, my brother back home, absolute aviation fanatic. This one's for you, mate. So we're off to Birdsville this morning. This will be our longest stretch yet. Birdsville being the gateway to the Simpson Desert. Bit of a problem. Cordillo Downs Road is closed, and that was our main route to Birdsville today. So we have to take the long way around. We now have to go to Birdsville via Araby Road, and it's 550 kilometres. That poses a bit of a problem when you're on a motorcycle, even with careful planning. We all have these fuel bladders, and I've got two of these, and they hold about 6 litres each, but I don't overfill them. I put 5 litres each in them, so I've got 2 of those. And my bike carries 23 litres itself. So with about 30, just over 30 litres, my bike can just make 550 kilometres, maybe, if we all take it easy today. To get to Birdsville today in one stretch with no fuel stops, I mean, because there isn't any, is 550 k's. So we do have a contingency plan. If we run out of fuel, we can combine what's left with all 3 bikes, and one bike can make the rest of the way into Birdsville and get some fuel and get back to the empty bikes. There's no other way. You can't go back now. Anyway, as long as I've been riding motorcycles for, I told the boys recently that I've never actually ridden in sand before. And they said, really? And I said, yep, really. I'm mastering the technique. It's all about gearbox selection and throttle control. I nearly had 2 big wipeouts yesterday, so I learnt my lesson the very, very hard way. But anyway, this isn't a race, it's not a competition, and there ain't no prize money. This ride's just about a personal challenge, some big camaraderie, and just to say that we did it. Oh, and getting to the other side alive, that'd be nice too. Speaking of which, on a serious note, we don't have a satellite phone, but we have an EPIRB. Can we check out your EPIRB, Pete? EPIRB's an emergency position indicating radio beacon. Maritime people use them. Idiots that want to ride out into the middle of deserts use them. And we just pop the lid off that, and it's a satellite instrument.
Has
and
an
it'll
aerial,
go off.
has an aerial here that you flip up, and then it turns on when you flip the aerial up.
Very good. It'll give us our coordinates and that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Very handy to have. It's like first aid kit syndrome. It's one of those things you hope you never have to use. And speaking of which, if you plan on the trip to the Simpson Desert, EPIRB's a must. First aid kit, even a first aid kit each, is a must in case you separate on your bikes. And lots of water, guys, for obvious reasons. Anyway, we've packed up camp and we're going to give it a crack today. See what happens.
Chris?
Yep. Heaps. Ooh, we just run out. A motorbike accident at the Bowsers, and it wasn't because of the price per litre of fuel, incidentally. They laid it over to fill the tank. That is hilarious. No surveys seen this in their life. But before we kick off, we've picked up a hitchhiker. Well, not a hitchhiker, he probably prefers to be referred to as Phil.
Phil.
Where are you from, Phil?
Yeah, Melbourne, Victoria.
You've come up here on your, what do we got? Suzuki
DR650.
The formidable DR650.
Yeah.
With enough petrol there to fill an oil refinery.
52 litres on board.
My goodness gracious
Yeah.
me. So, are you joining us for Birdsville?
Oh, sure am, yeah.
That's good,
Yeah.
we may need you. Well, 550 k's today, Phil. I hope we make it.
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to perish in the desert, at least do it with good company, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm standing here right on Cooper's Creek, right next to the dig tree that I mentioned earlier with Burke and Wills. Aptly named the dig tree, that's because the surveyors left supplies under the sand here for the lost Burke and Wills. They never did dig under it. Hot tip, guys, if you are a surveyor on a camel and you are lost and you come across a tree that says dig for supplies, dig for the bloody supplies, okay? So we're just all over here basically assessing the damage on our bikes, see what parts are missing. Boy oh boy, it's not the corrugations, it's riding through sand. It's very slippery and very unsettling. You've got to ride through sand to keep vertical. You got to stick to about 80 kilometres an hour in low revs and keep the power up and just power through that sand. And here's the trick. When you hit loose sand at 80 k's an hour, this 200 kilo bike I'm on sways from side to side violently like it goes into this death wobble. Yep, very slippery and very unsettling, and how any of us haven't come off yet amazes me. It's tough riding. I was just thinking to myself, I'm here with the boys, this is the furthest into the remoteness areas I've ever been on a motorcycle, and the furthest I've ever been away from my family. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and peaceful, but it's hard riding. We'll keep going.
Get up on the pegs, please. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Hey, you right? Hang on, Scott. Hey, just wait a minute. Just wait. Yep. Yeah.
On you, Woody! Yeah! Love it!
You alright?
You just lift it back a little bit.
Yep.
What will I grab onto it, Pete?
Just lift it back up a bit.
No, he just said it's clear. Well, just used the last 6 litres, guys, of my fuel bladder.
Will you be pushing it into Birdsville?
I reckon I'll be pushing it to get into Birdsville, alright. That's my second bag, so there we go, gents. What a funny little town. Alright, well we didn't make it to Birdsville.
Yeah.
Damn close.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to Bunta Pub. Bunta Pub. And this is washing the dust out of my mouth just nicely. Good on you. Hooch. moods on the trip?
Oh, it's been epic. It's been tiring. Drained. Need some beer.
Copious amounts of it.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be a big night. I can feel that coming on.
It's been a big few days, mate, hasn't it?
It has, sure has.
So what'd you get?
I got a camel pie. It's not something I'd usually buy, but hey, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, as they say. And guys, if I wake up tomorrow morning with a big hump on the back, you'll know what's happened. I can taste it's different. Not bad. Not bad. I thought to myself, how bad can it be? And if it is, I can always wash it down with a coffee. So, day 2 at Birdsville. It's pouring rain. Just woke up. It's 6:30 a.m. and my tent's flooded. You gotta love life sometimes. There you go. Having fun yet, boys? Dust, heat, wind, sand chafing, and then being wet and cold. But there is an advantage out here, boys.
It's just beautiful, isn't it?
You know what? It's always been my dream to be taller. I've grown about 3 inches since I went up to the amenities block. How good's that? See that? You see that? You can always find a positive, right? Well, the time had come to tackle Big Red, the largest sand dune in the Simpson Desert. Our buddy back home in Sydney didn't think I could do it. To tell you the truth, even I had doubts before we even got there.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all right.
Whereabouts are you guys?
We're still at Birdsville. It's where we're stuck here. We rained in.
At least you got the town there to get food and water and whatever you need to keep yourselves going.
Oh yeah, it's alright. The pub's up the road. We went to the pub for lunch and dinner last night and whatnot. So I think you've scared him about Big Red. He keeps saying that Andrew says I can't make it.
Well, you just tell him he's got to think positive.
So, but do you think he can make it?
No.
You don't have much confidence in him.
Well, if it's anything like me, he won't make it. He's going to fall off.
Well, he keeps saying that you've been giving him all the tip.
Oh, the tip was don't try it. I was quite blunt. He says to me, you think I'll make it? I said, no chance. I was quite honest.
We arrived at Big Red. That sand was much sandier than what I expected. It was intimidating. Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry famously said, "A man's got to know his limitations." And I said to myself, I'm not attempting Big Red. Not today. Not on this bike. But then I thought, what the hell did we come here for? We'll either leave here with a feeling of accomplishment or leave here with a broken leg.
Up, up. Let's see if we can get going.
I'm out the other side. Now look at the brake. Ah. Shit we do, eh? Come on, come on! On you, mate. No good thing. Oh no. A flat. At the top of Big Red. Lise, Jess, Chloe, we made it. I didn't think that was going to happen. Wow. Do you like the motorcycle, Jack? Care of Mother Nature.
Great, isn't it? Alright.
Where's the... You might turn this.
We've got a bit of a problem. Some locals have told us that Eyre Creek is flooded. Now we can keep going over Big Red, over a fair few more sand dunes, but albeit a lot smaller, until we reach Eyre Creek. But Eyre Creek is no longer a creek, it's flooded like a river, with all the floodwaters from Queensland since January have slowly made their way down. Would you believe, through the Simpson Desert? Yep, the desert is flooded and they've shut it, so there's no way you can get a motorcycle through. This is as far as we're going to get on this trip into the Simpson Desert. We've conquered Big Red. We've got to turn around now and go back to Birdsville and figure out a way how to get into the Flinders Ranges from there. So do some mapping, have a cup of coffee and just think about what we're going to do. This isn't good, it's not what I wanted, but Mother Nature's told us no. So we're going to push on. I don't know what we're going to do. Flinders Ranges is going to happen, but I don't know how we're going to get there.
No, thanks for having us on board as well.
If you get stuck or whatever, just definitely yell out.
might be able to sort something out from somewhere else.
Give
or
us a
whatever,
call.
Whatever we need to do. Yeah, don't hesitate, eh? If you get stranded or you get stuck, whatever.
Thanks, mate.
Nah, thank you.
Good to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, yeah. Yep.
See you, buddy.
Nah, thanks heaps,
Good to
mate.
meet you, Phil.
It was awesome. Absolutely unreal trip.
Take care of yourself and ride safe.
Yeah, sure will. Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Change your mind over the next day or so.
Yeah, we know where we are.
We're down the Flinders.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll be down there somewhere. So, no worries. Yeah, it's been a good couple of days anyway.
It has been.
Yeah.
Feels like I've known this forever now. Yeah.
Well, you will know us forever.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.